Welcome to Kids Art with me, Noura Connolly, and thank you for joining me. I just want to point out that today we're going to be making this cute little guy, Mr. Penguin, with markers, and we're going to start out by drawing, and then we're going to use the markers to fill in our outlines. And this penguin is simple to draw with easy shapes, and I'm sure you can have fun in this class. Thank you so much, and see you in class. Hi everyone, we're here today to make this cute penguin. Mr. Penguin, I call him. And he's a very simple drawing, and he's made with shapes, and we're going to put him together with markers on marker paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the supplies that we'll need to make this penguin. As you can see, I drew him on a smaller piece of paper, but we're going to use as large a size as we can find. So I'm going to use this very big paper by Borden & Riley, and it's 11 by 14. So whatever really large piece of paper you could find, that would be great, because we're going to embellish this penguin with other things on the side. So the other things that you're going to need are some markers, and here I've got a bunch of markers. They're different brands, but any kind you have is good, as long as you try and stick to similar colors that we're using. And we're going to use a black, this type of orange, a red, a bluish green or blue, and a yellow. And if you have a Sharpie, that's good too. You can work with that, and a pencil. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, now that we have all of our supplies, is set up our paper and workstation. And I recommend that we use two pieces of paper. If you have one that's already used, that would be perfect, because you can use it as a backdrop for the one that you're going to be actually making your drawing on. So now we find ourselves in the drawing part of the class, and this will be actually, we're going to start off with an outline, and then we're going to work on using our markers. So first we're going to use our pencil, and I just wanted to show you Mr. Penguin again so that you can look at him really well, and then we're going to draw an outline of him. So here we are, ready to draw our outline, and we're going to draw a couple of shapes and put them together on this piece of paper before we start with our markers and we fill in the colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Mr. Penguin's head, and we're going to make a round circle like this. As best you can, you make a round circle, and then in that circle you're going to make a big eye. You're going to make another circle like that, and then another circle inside that circle. So you have three circles inside of each other. This one will be filled in, this one will be white, and that one will be black. And we're going to get to that with our markers. Then for the next shape, we're going to draw a neck, and we're going to draw a really long two lines that come extending from the circle, that extend from the circle. So that is for the neck. And then we're going to put a little, we're going to put a bow tie here on the neck. But before we close it off with the bow tie, what we're going to do is do the body, and you're going to need an oval for that. So you're just going to make a long, elongated circle. And that is how you make an oval. It's stretched. It's just a circle like this one, but it's stretched out. You pull it, and it becomes an oval, like an egg shape. And then for the other parts of the body, we're going to add some wings, and we're going to do that like this. And that would be just the type of shape that you just add on. You can make the wings any way you want, but we're going to make them this way. And then we're going to make some feet, And for the feet, we're going to make a little type of duck feet, but they're actually for the penguin's feet. And we're going to add 2. So we're going to add his little toes as well. And we're going to connect them to the oval that we made. And for the last 3 pieces of this artwork, we're going to draw the beak. And that is a simple shape as well. It's just a type of triangle that is rounded on either end. As you can see, he's coming together. And we're going to put a little nostril here. And then we're going to add the last 2 things that he needs, which are his hat. And you can make it slanted, or you can make it standing up on his head, or slanted up to the side. It depends what you want to do. I'm going to make mine slanted to the side. So I'm going to draw that, a flat line, but I'm going to thicken it with the marker when I get to that part. And then I'm going to add the top part of the top hat. And that's a type of rectangle that is also a little bit elongated and stretched on the top, and then tighter on the bottom. And then the last thing that he needs are another circle in the neck, because we're going to make a bow tie here. So that's going to be like this. It's going to be also a triangle attached to the circle. And there you have it. That's his bow tie. Now we're going to make this in different colors. So we're going to, I don't know if you can see it yet, but it's going to come together. And for the last part of the penguin, we're going to add his markings. And this part is going to be black, and this part is going to be white. So that's the outline for the penguin. And if you want, I think we're going to embellish the sides a little bit. You can either put flowers, for instance, or fish. And fish are easy to draw. You just make a triangle shape like this, and then you make another elongated oval, and that's one fish. And then we can make another fish going the other way over here. It's another triangle. We can do it again. Try it again. And another elongated oval type shape. And he's going to have an eye. And this guy's going to have an eye as well. And he's going to smile. He looks a little bit like the goldfish. And we're going to put one more on this side. He's going to be facing the other way. So the triangle shape is going in this direction. See, there's a little point here, and a point here. So it's a triangle. And then an elongated oval shape as well. And this fish is going this way, to the left. So we have our fish, and we have our penguin. And maybe we can add and embellish it with some flowers if you like. And we can put very simple flowers. We'll make a little circle. And in that, we will put the petals around it. This one has 4 petals, this flower. And then we're going to put another flower here on the right side. This is the right side. If you're right-handed, it's the right side here. And if you're left-handed, it's on your other hand. So we're going to go here and make some petals. And there you go. So now he's got some fish. We've got some fish here, some flowers, and the penguin. And I think just to balance this out a little bit, I'm going to add another small flower over here on the top. So I'm going to make 4 petals and a circle. And that's how you make a flower. That's easy to make. So now we're going to put our pencils down, and then we're going to grab our markers. And in our next video clip, we're going to start using our markers to decorate and color in this drawing. Hi guys! Hi everyone, so we're back, and I'm going to pick up my black marker, and what I'm going to do is use the less thick side, this side, or if you just have regular markers, that's fine, just take your markers, and we're going to outline everything on our paper here. So we're going to start with the penguin, and we're just going to go over the lines we made with our pencil. That way we know what colors to put in each shape. So we're going to start with the eye here, and we're going to go and make a little circle for the eye, and we're going to outline this eyeball here, and then we're going to make the face here. And if you don't get your lines exactly perfect, that's fine, because art is about mistakes sometimes, because out of mistakes sometimes you make beautiful things and you might like what you made. And here we do the bow tie, and the outlines take a little bit of time, but it's nice to do that because in the end your outlines will help you block out what colors you want to place in each shape. And you can erase if you need to, like for instance over here. We don't want this line to show up too much, nor this one. And whatever you feel is in the way of you know, your drawing, then you can erase those lines out, and you can see better what you've created. So these are the wings, and we'll just make the wings out here, and then we'll make his little body shape here, markings, and we'll just join everything. You don't need to do this line. That was just to help us with the shape. And if you don't want to erase, that's okay too. If you don't have an eraser, you can just color them in with the black, because this is all going to be colored in black. This part, the top part that we just made for his body. And here we have his bottom, then his little feet, his cute feet, and next we're going to do the fish. And the fish are simple fish, but they're fun fish because they look like goldfish, and they make the drawing come out even more with style, because the penguin on the paper by itself is not as pretty as making a little more embellishments on your design on the sides. So there, as you can see, we have fish, some flowers, and our penguin in the center. So we're going to color these in, and you can pick out your colors, but I know what colors I'm going to use on mine already, and I'm going to show you the penguin that I used in the very beginning and made in the beginning to show you as a demonstration. And so we can figure out how we're going to color block and fill in our design, our illustration. So I brought back our previous penguin, so you can see that this part of the penguin is black, or the beak and the feet are orange, and his bow tie is red. Now you can use different colors if you want. For instance, you can make his bow tie blue or pink, but it doesn't really matter what color you choose unless you want it to be a specific color. And I picked red, but for his beak we can always use the orange because penguins generally look that way. They have black on their markings and white and orange for their feet and their beak. We're going to start with the bow tie, and if you have markers that take that are Crayola, for instance, those are really good markers to use on demonstration. Those are really good markers to use on illustrations such as these. And feel free to take out your markers and join me, and we're going to finish drawing this little guy. Now I'm using orange for the beak because I suggested that that's the color that we use for a beak and feet of this penguin. because in real life, generally, they have a beak that's orange and feet that are a type of orange as well. And now I'm going to speed up the demonstration so that you can see what colors I use on this penguin, and you can color in your penguin while you watch the video. Thank you for joining me here today in making this nice penguin with fish and flowers. He looks like this in the end, and he's a perfect representation of how to use markers to draw a cute penguin. Thank you for joining me, and keep your eyes out for new kids art classes with me, Noura Connolly. Thank you so much.